Thank you, choir, for that beautiful song, that message in song, Be the Light. Why don't you turn to the person around you and tell them, encourage them, be the light today. Be the light. Be the light in this world. Be the light in the community. Be the light in the family. Be the light on your job, in your place of business. Be the light this morning. How are you feeling this morning? You look wonderful this morning. You look happy. You look rich. You look well. You look blessed and highly favored. You look like you have oil wells pumping in your backyard, money trees in your backyard, front yard. I'm just telling you how you look today. Are you deceiving me? Huh? Like you got diamonds meeting at your thighs. Is that you? Well, say it. That's me. And if it's not you, act like it's you. You might go ahead and grab hold of it. It might become you. So we give thanks today. These words, I want you to hear these words. Keith, it says, be the light, be a star, be a candle in the dark. You can shine like a city on a hill. Give your hand, give your heart, give the very best you are. Be the salt of the earth, if you will. The chorus says, you can help and serve somebody you know. Share your light and love wherever you go. For life can be so blessed and bright when we choose to be the light. Have some faith when you pray in the quiet of your room, for God knows what you need before you ask. And in all that you do, try to live the golden rule. Every good thing you choose to do will last. That's a beautiful song. Come on, bless the choir one more time. And we give thanks to the writer of the Daily Thought this morning. It's Reverend Gigi Brown. Where is she? That's not Reverend Gigi. Where is Reverend Gigi? That's not Reverend Gigi. But we give thanks for the writer. You know, we have such wonderful writers contributing the gifts that God is in, through, and as them that blesses us each and every month. And for this, we're so grateful. And this is a wonderful segue into our message today. And in today's message, I want to talk about the divine mandate. Say divine mandate. Say a divine mandate. I didn't say a hillside mandate. I didn't say a Jack Bomar mandate. I said a what? A divine mandate that we all have as children, channels, and extensions of God living in this multidimensional universe. We all have a mandate. And it behooves us to know what the mandate is. There's a lot of energy stirring in the universe right now. And the energy that's stirring, if we are not conscious, it will cause us to move into a state and space and place of fear. But that is not the way of God. Because Scripture says that God did not give us a spirit of fear. Let's make it personal. God did not give me. I want you to point at yourself. God did not give me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. So if you find yourself feeling fearful, just know that that is not the will nor the gift of God. That is the mind's capitulation to the illusions outside of itself. And as long as we capitulate, conform to the illusions of the world, you will always find yourself in fear and in a fix. But Paul says this, be not conformed to the patterns of the world. Let me break this down. Be not conformed to the images, to the suggestions, or to the auto-suggestions of the world. Because the suggestions of the world will always have us in a fix. But Paul then gives us the remedy to every illusion that the world outside of us presents to us. Then he says what? Be ye transformed. Say transformed. Say it again, transformed. Transform is to be changed and made over, to be remade by the renewing of our mind. So in this multidimensional universe, we have a divine mandate. The supreme God, source, Elohim, El Shaddai, Allah, Yahweh, divine mind, the I am that I am God, has given us a mandate, an official order, a commission to do and to be something that will save this earth and this world, this dimension from the chaos, darkness, and disaster that looms. And I want to speak today from this subject, making an impact. And as you consider your life today, you consider where you are in your life today, I want to encourage you to ask yourself this question: what kind of impact am I making? Now, everybody's making an impact. We're all impacting somebody or something in some kind of way. But let's make a divine impact, an impact for the good, an impact for the better. How many of you been impacted this week by something or someone? Huh? How many of you were impacted in a not so good way by something or someone? Yeah, be honest. Oh, yeah. I hope they are not sitting beside you if they are. How many of you had a good impact this week? You were impacted, your life was impacted, shifted, and changed, elevated. Say elevated. And that's the kind of impact that we're talking about. It's the impact of elevation. As Jacob's ladder suggests, that every round in this life goes higher and higher. We are elevated into new spaces and places. You know, I reminded, recently I was taken on a private jet ride, a private plane ride. Adrian, raise your hand, Adrian. This is the hillside pilot in our midst. Y'all didn't know that. And I want you to know you got to be ready for elevation. And if you're not braced and ready for elevation, baby, let me tell you, everything inside of you will be afraid of that elevation. And Adrian took me on a plane ride. I had to go to South Carolina to do a service, to attend a service, and I couldn't get there that morning. And I said, Lord, I need, I've been praying for a private, it's been prophesied. Oh my God, yes it has been. I'm just telling you the prophecy that has come to me. In fact, one of the mothers says, Jack, are you still traveling here and there and there and there and everywhere? I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, do you have a private jet yet? I said, well, no, ma'am. I said, I got Delta. I don't do that American Air. Anyway, this is nothing. I'm just telling you what I got. I said, I got that. She says, well, why don't you? This is a saint, seasoned saint. Oh, she's a minister of the gospel. 94 years young. And she says, if Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes and all these others got jets and planes to fly here and there doing the work of the Lord, you need to have one too. And you know what I said to her? I said, Mother, that's fine. But I don't have to own it. Just let me use it when I want it. And then you know what she said to me? She got me straight right quick. She says, why can't you own it? It's according to your consciousness. And not only can you own it, you can own everything that you need to take care of it. I said, well, correct me then. Put truth on me. So Adrian took me up, elevated me one day. I had to get to South Carolina real fast for this service, and I couldn't drive there that fast. And it was on a two-seater. A four-seater, sorry, correct me. Was it a single engine? I done told you, you got to be ready for elevation. Who's ready for elevation in here? God might send you a single-engine, 4-passenger plane. But you got to be ready. At 6 a.m. in the morning, before the weather got to acting crazy and you hit all the turbulence, and Papa, he looked like he knew what he was doing because he was talking to the control center. But he didn't know while he was talking to his control center, I was talking to mine. Now, I don't know what he was saying because I couldn't hear him in that 4-seater single-engine plane that was making all that noise. And you got to wear these ear things, and so you can block out all that noise. But while he's talking to control center, I was talking to mine. And this is what I said to my control center. And I talk to the control center every time I get on the plane. I don't care if it is on Delta. And sometimes I'll do Southwest because they can get me there in a nonstop way too. But make sure you get that A1 through 15 seat so you don't have to go to the back of the. You see, I came from the back of the plane a long time ago. I know we'll all get there together at the same time, but it's just something. It just feels like the flight is a little better in the front of the plane. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You got more space. And so as Adrian was talking to the control center, Reverend Marshall, I talked to my control center. And this is what I said. I says, now, Lord, if this plane is not going to land safely in South Carolina, don't let it take off. That was my prayer. You ain't got to pray these long, drawn-out prayers. Oh, Lord, put the light around me and send the Lord on over to South Carolina and meet me in Midway and greet me when I get there and hold him by his head and keep his eyes on the sky and don't let him get distracted by the other planes and the birds and don't let him get to talking to me and, and then his eyes not paying attention and you ain't got to pray all that. Lord, if it's not going to land safely, just don't let it take off. You know how many planes have been grounded over the years? How many flights have been delayed and canceled? That simple prayer. Now, y'all stay focused. We're making an impact. Elevation. Shout elevation. Who's ready to go higher in your life? Yeah, elevation. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. You see, when the soul is ready, God is sending you exactly what you need to take you there. I believe it. Well, who is this? I'll take you there. Who is it? Mavis Staples and the Staple Singers. Go listen. Go pull up these songs. I'll take you there. God is always God in you. God in me. God within us is always seeking elevation. But the gravitational pull of complacency and fear and doubt keeps us grounded in life. We can't go no higher than the top level of your house. Making an impact. To help us to convey this message, I got a few minutes. I want to draw your attention. We're going to go back to this passage that we've heard about today in the Daily Thought. It's the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse. I just knew there was a hillside that won that big. You don't even have to name yourself. You don't even have to just put your tithe in the offerings. That Powerball, that big mega Paul, what was it? $1 billion. Somebody win it yet? Huh? It got to be a hillsider. Okay, it got to be a hillsider. Y'all should be shouting on that. The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 13. You see, these numbers reminded me of that. Chapter 5, verse 13 through 15. Some people have even come up to tell me, Jack, that number hit. I said, did you put your tithe in the... See, y'all too spiritual. But I know what you do. I know. Because if I stopped by that store, I would have gotten me a $1 billion Powerball ticket too. Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 13 through 15, and it reads, you are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hidden, neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Now I want to read from the Message translation. And it reads like this, the same verses. It says, let me tell you why you are here. You are here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors of this earth. Oh, hallelujah. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You see, you've lost your usefulness and will end up in the garbage. Here's another way to put it. You are here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We are going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I am putting you on a light stand. Uh-oh. Somebody wonder why you've been elevated. Why you've been elevated. I am putting you on a light stand. Now that I've put you there on a hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you will prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. Here ends the reading. Isn't that a good word? Let me tell you why you are here. Oh, glory be to God. Friends, it's my prayer that this message, the next few minutes, will serve as a roadmap on our journey to answer one of life's most pivotal questions, and that is, what on earth am I here to do? And why am I still here on this earth? Family, we are not here by coincidence. We are not here by a oops. We are not here by an accident. We are not here by happenstance. We are not here by mistake. We are not here without purpose or meaning. We are not here to live our lives aimlessly and to just occupy space and place on this earth. Every living thing and everyone has a purpose and a meaning. And we know that. This is not new. And I'm not teaching anything that you don't know. I'm just reminding us of the truth that we already have. In order for us to truly find and experience a greater awareness of our purpose, we must learn to turn within to the great Spirit of life, to that indwelling presence that we know by many names. God has an assignment. Put your hand on your heart. God has an assignment. God has a purpose for each one of us, and it's a holy purpose. Take a deep breath in and let go, and I want you to affirm on that exhale, I am here for a holy purpose. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And I want you to emphasize I am and holy together. I am here for a holy purpose. Let it go. One more time, take a deep breath in. Now let's extend your hands. I am here for a holy purpose. Known as the Prince of Preachers, the late Charles Spurgeon said in response to this question, why are we here? He says, we remain on earth as sowers to scatter good seeds. We are here as the salt of the earth to be a blessing to this world. We are here to glorify the living Christ in our daily lives. Friends, a life that is aimed to bring honor, to bring reverence, to bring praise to the Spirit of truth, to the Spirit of God, to the Spirit of life. That life looks different than a life that is focused on human accomplishments and material gain. When we know that we are here for a purpose, something bigger than what we can acquire, we are here for something larger than what our bank account can hold. We are here for something so much more meaningful than anything that we may have acquired or accrued in our life. When we really know that, then ultimately we give glory to this presence and power, to the unity, to the oneness of God, to the oneness of life. In the words of Paramahansa Yogananda, the founder of the Self-Realization Fellowship, and if you've ever been, when you go to California, who's ever visited the Self-Realization Center in California? There are 2 centers. If you've never visited, I want you to set this as one of the spaces, especially for those of you, all of the truth students. You got it? Students of truth. Put it on your list to visit the Self-Realization Fellowship in California. It's in this right in off PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, there in Los Angeles. Paramahansa Yogananda, the founder of Self-Realization Fellowship, in his words, he ultimately reveals the purpose of life. He says, the ultimate purpose of life is to find God. To find God within oneself. And not just to find God within oneself, but then to express and to shine God into the world. How are we shining today? If we let it, and we live into this message, friends, it will help us and serve us to answer the call on how to live our lives in a way that makes a tremendous positive impact. And that's what we're here to do, to make a good impact. And I truly believe that that is what Spirit wants to do in, through, and as us, and that is to impact this world. So when we hear about what's coming tomorrow, that's us. That's you appearing. You are the eclipse. We are the eclipse. We are the news. That's the news. And we realize that we are one with the universe. And the eclipse that's happening outside of us is that eclipse that happens on the inside. That's revealing to us that something is being stirred up. There's a new awakening that's dawning within the soul of man and woman and human. And so we run outside to see it, and you won't see it. You won't see it out there. Rather than running outside, why don't you run on the inside and watch the moon pass by the sun on the inside of you? And then you stand and feel the frequency and the vibration of the rising sun and the moon having this rendezvous in your life. Then you come back revealing the glory of God. See, everything outside is anything that calls us outside. And when there's the natural tendency to go outside, for every student of truth and every metaphysician, that should be your first cue that it's time to come back on the inside. Because we live life from the inside and out, not from the outside in. That's why y'all messed up. Trying to live life from the outside in. Getting what you got from the outside, trying to bring it on the inside. But we used to sing a song down, when I got hold of started attending the Church of God in Christ, they said, something on the inside is working on the outside. See, we got it mixed up. We say something on the outside is working on the inside. Ain't no kind of change coming from that. I know it wasn't good grammar. So something on the inside is, you see, there is an eclipse that's happening on the inside. And it's showing up on the outside. And when we get to that revelation and that realization, oh, what a change we'll experience in our lives. Every one of us here, we came to this earth because there is something that this earth needs that God has hidden on the inside of you. I'll say it again. Every one of us here, we came here, we incarnated because the I am that I am God, the divine mind, the universal intelligence, hid something on the inside of us that is to be released in this earth to make this earth better. Do you know what it is? Huh? Do you know what's hidden on the inside of you? Every one of us, we were brought here, sent here by the greater power, the force to bring forth something that will make the world better. Everything in creation was created with a gift. We all come bearing a, some of you, I asked the question, this you look like I really don't know what it is yet. I'm going to tell you what it is. Who wants to know what it is? It's right here. We're revealing the purpose of everybody. In other words, you are a divine carrier. Courier. Think of FedEx. Think of, UPS. What's another courier? Yes. Think of, you are a divine courier. Put your hand on your heart again. Say, I am a divine courier. Now, to deliver a special package, a special gift for this generation. And you are obligated under contract to deliver it. Now, you can fight it, you can cuss and fuss it, you can refuse it, you can try to get out of it, you can die in this life depriving this earth and world of it, but you're going to come back to bring it back again. We are all divine carriers sent here with a special package, a special gift, a special delivery. And we are obligated under divine contract to deliver it. And I want you to know something. You owe me what you're carrying. I want what you are carrying. And I owe you what I'm carrying. I owe this world, I owe the earth, I owe you what God has hidden inside of me. Because your life becomes better and more enriched. And I think about all of you. I think about the deacon right here. And I think about if you had dared to withhold what God had hidden on the inside of you. And if you had refused to share and deliver in this house what God hid inside of you before you even entered your mama's womb, how deprived would we be today? Huh? You think about Keith and William and Chris and Tanai and Ray and the choir and Donald and Reverend Angela. If you had looked at and chose not to even try to figure out what God had put on the inside of you, but if you saw it and refused to share it with this world, how deprived would we be today? We are the better because you chose to share it. God has hidden something, some gift in the soul of every man and every woman. And it's time to wake up the soul and bring forth the gift and to deliver the package. You ain't waiting on God to come again. You ain't waiting on Jesus to come again. Jesus has already come inside of you. God's waiting on us to wake up. Waiting for the righteous to wake up. Those who are in right relationship and right understanding of who and what we are in God and who and what God is in us. This says the earth is travailing as in labor pains, waiting for the sons and daughters of God to rise up, wake up, get up, and help bring about a change on this earth. You ain't waiting on God. You ain't even got to pray, God, come on and see about me. Stop praying that old kind of prayer. God is already here. And wherever you go, God is already there. And you take God with you wherever you go. And now it's time for you to wake up. Yeah, listen, you ain't got to worry about who's watching you. Somebody's always watching you. Yeah, God is right there. Can't do it in the dark. It's always hidden and revealed. You take God with you wherever you go. In the courtroom, you take God there. In the hospital, you take God there. You might be behind a prison cell, that you take God right there. Because the one righteous relationship. Now, we are all in one relationship with God. But what often happens, and I didn't say this, that we fall out of fellowship. You'll never fall out of relationship. Paul says there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that can separate me from the love of my Father. And then the psalmist says, if I go up into the heavens, God is there. If I find myself in the pit of hell, God is there too. If I take on the wings of morning and soar into the distant by and by, God is still there. God is here. God is here. God is here. In your pain, God is here. In your grief, God is there. In your confusion, God is there. When your life is hurting, God is there. When you're broke, God is there. When you can't see your way, God is there. When you're confused, God is still right there. God is just like that husband and wife who decided to go out for a ride in the pickup truck. And the husband's driving the pickup truck, and the wife sat over by the other door, passenger door. And she looked at her husband. She says, honey, how come you don't snuggle up to me like you used to? You see, back in the day, we used to ride in the pickup truck all snuggled up. You would have your arms around me. You whisper sweet nothings in my ear while you're driving. And the husband looked at the wife and he says, baby, I ain't going nowhere. I'm still right here driving. It's you who scoot over. You need to come back on over. God ain't going nowhere. God is still right here. Put your hand on your heart. Right here. Take a deep breath in. It says right here. Right here. We're talking about making an impact. God is right here. So we all come bearing a gift that we're to deliver to this world. The world is waiting on it. And that's why we hear all of this chaos and all this craziness. It's a call out. The world, the earth is travailing as in labor pains, calling us, wake up, bring me what you got. Deliver what you got. Come on, it's inside of you. Bring what you got. And what often happens, we get a bad case of selective amnesia. Cancel. And we think that the world got what we're looking for. Oh my God. We done turned it all upside down. We think that what we're looking for is out there. So, it says most people were taught that we are only here on this earth, in this body, at this time to make a living, to get a good education, to get a job, to work in a place that they actually hate until they retire, to get married, to have a family, to buy that dream home that it takes 30, 40 years to pay for. Friends, whatever we are born to do, it is not ahead of us, it is within us. Listen to this. Whatever you are destined to become, God has already prepared you for it and with it. Listen, your future, say my future. Shout it out, my future is not ahead of me. It is trapped inside of me. Your future's not in tomorrow or next year or in the 10 years from now. Your future is trapped in the here and now and in this eternal moment within you. And we are birthing our future by our words and our actions and our thoughts and our inactions, our beliefs and our feelings today. This very present moment is the residual of everything we thought, spoke, and believed and felt yesterday. Your future is not ahead of you. Your future is trapped inside of you. Say, my future is on the inside of me. Just like that mighty oak tree is trapped inside of the little acorn. It's right there. Jesus says, let me tell you why you are here. You're here to be the salt of the earth. And what does the salt do? The salt is a preservative. It preserves. It preserves the good. We're here to be the preserver. Say, I am the preserver. Means that we are called to preserve what is good. There was a time before refrigeration, and I remember this. They used to, I don't know the process, I just knew they would salt up some meat to keep it from spoil. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Y'all should say amen like you know. So the other folks don't never know what I'm talking about. They don't think I'm lying and making up stuff. How many of you know about preserving meat? It was before the refrigerator. Yeah, you put it in the smokehouse, and what would you do?
We hang it up.
But you preserved it by what? Salting the meat. See, salt is a preserver. And we preserve a whole lot of stuff in our lives, and the stuff that we're preserving, much of the stuff that we preserve is the stuff we need to let go of. We need to let that stuff spoil, rot, and be gone. And become the preserver of the good. Every time we repeat negativity, we are preserving it. We're giving it life. Every time we affirm what's happening out there, we're giving it life. We are preserving it. Uh-oh, let me tell you this. Every time we gossip, murmur and complain, we are preserving the. Every time we try to explain what happened way back when and how bad it happened and what they said when they said and how they looked when they told me what they told me, we are preserving that moment. And then we become Lot's wife, fixed, crystallized in the past. But we're called to be the preservers of good. Paul says, whatever things are of noble, of good, praiseworthy, of good report, preserve these things. What good is happening in your life? What good is happening in your family? What good is happening what good is happening at Hillside today? Come on, anything good and praiseworthy? Anything that we want to preserve? What good is happening in the world? Preserve those things. Salt is a preserver. It's also, it has flavor and seasoning, but you can't be too salty though. Salt, you see, is supposed to draw out all of the other flavors. Huh? Thank you, Reverend Angela. See, I've been on this kick. I'm not really a cook. But when I get something that I like, I can eat it every day. Say every day. All the intermittent fasting, can y'all tell? I know you. Can you tell? There was a time, I still got a little room. There was a time I couldn't button this up. Don't hate. I've been doing intermittent fasting. I don't eat, try not to eat until 10 o'clock, 10:30. Handful of almonds and Brazil nuts and pecans and apple. Good for digestion. Then I eat my last meal before 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Wait, I was going there for some reason. Where was I going? You see, I got off. Huh? Yeah. And so I started cooking Papa Kilgore black beans with a little sauteed onions and garlic and cut up tomatoes, and I get all my seasoning and my thyme and my oregano and my lemon pepper and my black pepper, a little cayenne pepper, a little garlic powder and onion powder and a little cumin. And so I made it the first couple of days. I said, this is good, but something's missing. See, I don't keep table salt in the house, but I got on YouTube. You can find everything on YouTube these days. I went on YouTube, Reverend Dean Cedric, on how do you cook black beans. And they said, put a little kosher salt, just a little bit. And you know what I did? That third day, I went and got a little pinch of kosher salt. I've been eating that black bean soup every day. Hey, be the preserver. And then we got to learn how to be a flavor injector. Oh, inject flavor into the world. Inject some flavor into life and into your family. Flavor that draws out the good and the best of the other seasonings and things that you're working with. Now, if your flavor is taken over, it's too much. There's nothing worse than, now you want to know somebody who can cook some greens, I'm putting you on Front Street. Reverend Gertrude knows she can cook some turnip greens. She knows how to mix it just right. It just keeps you eating and eating and eating. Gluttony. But I've had some greens not from her house. That was just, you know what I did? I threw it out. Be a flavor injector. What are you injecting into the world? Thank you, God, I got a roof over my head. It helps me to meet my obligations. Thank you, God. I got a place that I can go. I'm just not sitting at home twiddling my thumbs. So be the preserver. Be the flavor injector. And then he doesn't stop there. He says, not only are we called to be the salt of the earth, we're called to be the light of the world. From a metaphysical perspective, to be the light of the world means to be an expresser of truth. The expresser of truth. So our third thing is that the change that we want to see in the world, friends, Mahatma Gandhi says it best. Be the change. Be the preserver. Be the flavor injector. Be the change. So if there needs to be flavor, you're it. You're it. You got it. Say, I got it. I got it. I got it. And the way that we can become and be the change is by, first of all, having that encounter, what Howard Thurman calls that creative encounter with God within us. And something happens when we're changed. And that's where change begins. We can't change anything outside of us until it changes on the inside of us. Has anybody ever had that change on the deep? I mean, you've really been changed. Some stuff, the way that you used to do things, you used to explain it. You used to cuss it out. You don't do that no more. Some of you ain't been changed. Don't have me calling. Y'all don't know I can hear everything that happens on these grounds. I'm just like God. I am God. I can see all and I can hear all. So we're called to be the change, and something happens. There's a deep change that happens when we enter this new realization and revelation of our oneness and the right relationship with Spirit. We're changed at a deeper level. How many of you have had that kind of change? Some of you have been changed since you came into these teachings. Anybody? You have a different perspective. You can't. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. Anybody been changed? I change. The angels in heaven done change my name. If you know you've been changed, right there. I know I've been changed. All the change. Listen, changing your name is changing your nature. And when your nature gets changed, even the weak can say, I am strong. And the poor says, I am rich. And the sick will shout, I am well, when the nature changes. And if you're ready if you need a change and you want to make that impact, get someone by the hand right now and then come into agreement with them. We're going to just speak the word collectively. Some of you need change somewhere in your life. Change my name. You know you've been changed. I know I've been changed. Know I've been changed. I'm glad that I know I've been changed. So we speak the word, God, we give thanks. We give thanks for the change and the transformations that are happening right now, that's happening in the hearts and minds of your people. The change, moving us from the outside back in. The change that happens in our mind, the change that happens in our heart, within the soul, that we're changed, transformed by the renewing of our minds. We give thanks for the changes that are occurring in the households and changes that are occurring in the family, change that is occurring in the relationships, change that's occurring in the bodies right now and in the hearts and minds of your people. The change that is happening in the world because we're waking up. We're rising up, choosing to be the preservers that you call, choosing to be the flavor injectors and to be the change agents and to bring forth the gifts that you've hidden inside of us. We thank you for change today. Somebody ought to shout change. Shout it again, change me, oh God. Change me, oh God. Change me, oh God. Change my mind. Change my heart. Change my walk and how I'm seeing things and how I'm interpreting things, how I'm hearing things. Change my walk. Change my mouth. Change my feelings and my beliefs. Change us, oh God, that we might be changed agents for good in this world. We thank you for the word today, that you've called us to make a positive impact on this world. And we go forth in this consciousness to do good, to bring forth good, and to be good wherever we go. Well, we pray this prayer in the name and through the mighty power that is in the name and nature of the living Christ. And we give thanks, and so it is. If you receive it, touch and agree with the person next to you. Say, I'm changed. I know I've been changed. Stay right there. The angels, say it again. Oh, the angels in heaven done change. I'm glad that the angels in heaven done change my name. Hallelujah. Oh, hey, 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 hey. My, oh, hey, hey, hey. I'm changed. Changed. New man walking. New woman talking. Changed. Shout it, I'm changed. Don't let nobody bind you and hold you to who you used to be. When you come into an awareness of who you are in God and who God is in you, it doesn't matter what you've done and who you used to be. You're a new creation walking. A change agent for God. Somebody ought to shout on that one. Change. And I know it. I know I've been changed. I know I've been, come on. I know I've been, hey, come on. If you know it, get it. I know I've been changed. There's your change shout. Take a different route home. Get up on the other side of the bed this week. Put on something different. Comb your hair in a different way. Let the world know I am changed. Say it, I am changed. Shout it to yourself, I am changed. I am changed. Say it again, I am changed. Hey, hey, hey. Change. Change.